welcome back to a new video. We're gonna do a little different style video today. If you guys remember a few videos back, I asked you guys to please ask some questions in the comment box because I wanted to do a Q&A. Between all the platforms, my inboxes and DMs overflooding with questions, and I just don't simply have enough time to sit out and type like a really thorough response to everything. So I thought, hey, let's give everybody a chance to ask a question and I'll just put it up here on YouTube. That way we can cover a lot of different questions, which most of them are very common questions, and I thought I'd do it that way. So this first episode of questions and answers is hunting related questions. That's what I put out on Instagram anyways. I did a little poll where people can fill out a question and it would send it to my inbox, and now I have screenshots upon screenshots of questions to answer for you guys. But before we jump into it and get started, just want to say welcome to any new viewers out there. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Daily lifestyle vlogs, mostly hunting related because that's pretty much what I do. We'll just start out from the top. Some of these are really easy to answer and some of them aren't, but we'll go into as much detail as we need. First question is, what was the first big game animal you killed? I've got that one a lot, so this is a good one. So the first big game animal I ever killed was a mule deer. It was on Utah's general season rifle hunt, and it was in southern Utah. I was hunting with a friend of mine named Ben. He had taken me down to southern Utah where him and his family had some property. We hunted around there, didn't have any luck, so we went up on the mountain on the public land, and we kind of all split up. So there I was alone, evening. I was like, I better get back to the truck before I get lost. On my way to the truck, I just glanced through the ponderosa pines. There was 2 bucks, like a spike by 2, something very small, and then a really decent 4x5. And it wasn't a very long shot. I just put my rifle up against a tree, 1-shot kill. My first big game animal ever was a nice 4x5 mule deer, which is actually sitting in my office right now. When's the trailer build? So some of you guys have seen that I have an old vintage camp trailer. It's still getting worked on. I need to go pick it up probably here in the next few days. And from there I just want to customize it and just kind of make it feel like my own. I'll definitely do like a walkthrough and a build video when I do that. So coming soon on the channel, a little old camper vintage trailer. Did any of the Hush crew draw New Mexico this year? We did not. 2019, not one New Mexico tag at all because we did not apply. So guys, we have so much opportunity out there from different states. I failed to put in because during shed season, which is application period, I'm just way too busy and out of sight, out of mind for putting in. So I'm hunting a lot of over-the-counter tags this year, which I'm excited about. I think every tag is literally equal. It doesn't matter if it's a draw or over the counter. What bow release do you use? So the bow release I currently use is made by Carter. And the reason we did that is Jeremiah at Wild Arrow, where we get our bows tuned, he saw that the releases I had used in the past with I have short fingers, I was really reaching for that trigger. And even though we had adjusted to as short as possible, I was still barely hitting it with the tip of my finger. So we use a Carter release. It's much shorter, that way I can hook around the release and really pull with the back tension. What age did you kill your first animal? So going back to my very first deer hunt where I actually harvested, I had hunted a little bit before that, but I think I was 20 years old, maybe 21 years old, 36 now, and yeah, still going strong. Still love it just as much as the first year. And honestly, the first year I did it, I really wanted to do it just for the meat, buying a ton of meat at the store, and I said, hey, why don't I just go hunting and get some deer meat? And I did. Filled the freezer, ate it all, and absolutely loved it ever since. And what's your camera setup and video editing? So we have a variety of cameras. Right now I'm shooting with the G7X. It's a Canon, and it is a vlog camera with a flip screen. So if you ever see me looking up here, it's because I can see myself. But yeah, that's a vlog camera. It's only about as big as your phone, a little wider, and it fits in my pocket. Because of that, I take it literally everywhere. On top of a vlog camera, we have a Sony 6500. It's sitting over there on the table. We use GoPros, we use cell phones during phone scope, and we've also used the A30, which is a Canon. It's more of like your GL2 kind of thing. Back in the day, the GL2 was a big thing. But guys, we have a variety of cameras. The one I specifically use the most is a G7X Mark II vlog camera by Canon. We all use Final Cut Pro, and it's all on our MacBook laptops. Literally, with that, we're mobile. We can edit anywhere we're at, whether at camp, a hotel, or home. So yeah, Final Cut Pro. Tips for a first-time archery elk hunter. I would say do a lot of research, do a lot of scouting if possible, and get in shape. When you're chasing elk on the ground and it's kind of that run and gun style hunting, and you're either listening to bugles or doing that style hunting, you want to be in good shape. Definitely get in shape. and be ready to run and gun, because it always seems like you're one step behind those dang things and you're always trying to catch up to them. If you're gonna do early season, you might have better luck sitting on water, wallows. So if you're hunting those early seasons, definitely get ready for more of a sit style. If they're not being very vocal, they're very hard to see. Spot and stalk is an option depending on the terrain. So yeah, basically get in shape, get ready to quarter and process an elk and pack it out on the mountain, because that's gonna be a big part of it. That's why you need to be in shape partially, is to get the meat out. So have some good friends ready and some horses if possible. This is a cool question because it's a good answer. It says, do you spend a lot of off-season checking trail cams, or do you just know your areas? It's a combination of both. So if you guys watch the Hush channel, you'll see these last few episodes, we're really putting a lot of time into trail cameras in the high country. It's convenient because I live so close. It's only a half-hour away. We can spend a lot of time and really try to use the trail cameras to help pattern the different bucks that we want to hunt. Other units, I'm just either I know the area, or I'm just completely winging it. I do both and I enjoy both. I like to go to spots where I've had good luck and I kind of understand what the deer or the elk, whatever it might be I'm hunting, are doing or have done in the past, and use that to my advantage. One thing I do love is exploring new country and having no expectations, no trail cameras, no knowledge of what's going on, and just trying to figure it out. So a combination of both. I spend a lot of time with trail cameras in the high country, and guess how many deer I've killed up there? 0. I go up to other units where I have no trail cameras and no knowledge, and I harvest a buck. So it's very helpful. Honestly, the trail cams are a lot of fun in the high country where I hunt deer. Get to see everything, get to kind of see what's floating around, and that way you know, I call it take inventory. Just see what kind of bucks are in there, what quality of bucks are in there. But again, other units I've hunted, 0 trail cameras, great results. Do you ever plan on coming to Northern California to hunt? Absolutely, guys. I would love to hunt all over the place. In some ways, I'm kind of stuck in the units and the states that I already know, so I'm like excited for those hunts because I've been there and I want to excel at them and do better at them than maybe the year before. But there's a lot of opportunity out there in other states. This year, I am looking at other states like North Dakota, Missouri, which again, I have hunted those, but not much. And some other eastern or Midwest states to hunt whitetails. I've never looked into the California application period, how to draw a tag. Like, I'm totally unfamiliar with that whole situation. But I haven't been invited on like hog hunts. But no, I've never hunted big game in California. I would love to. Blacktails on the bucket list. Tule elk, if I could ever draw or get a tag, would be super fun. But yeah, I'd love to come to Northern California. Tons of big mountains. There's high country mule deer. There's obviously blacktail. So yeah, I just haven't had the chance to, and again, don't know even where to start. What tripod do you use for your spotting scope? When this question pops up, which I get often, I'm just usually like, you don't even want to know what I use. So what I may use for some of these trips, or pretty much every trip I go on, might not be exactly what I would recommend for anybody in the different situations they're in. So I have like the oldest Vortex tripod. It's even collapsed. It's like that long, the legs are that long, but it extends way beyond as high as I'll ever need. But it's big, it's heavy duty, and it has a nice Manfrotto head. So the reason I pack it around is because A, I like to be able to pan around while I'm using my spotting scope, and B, because we film a lot through the spotting scope, I want as steady and heavy as a tripod as possible. Now, that's not necessarily what I'd recommend for someone's like, hey, I'm going backpack hunting, like, what do you recommend for a tripod? What do you use? I'm always like, listen, I use the biggest one. It's not necessarily what you're gonna want. If I had to recommend something, I'd say try a smaller, lighter, more compact Vortex spotting scope. Carbon, obviously, are the lightweight ones. There's different styles of the legs, the ones that twist and the ones that clip. I prefer the ones that clip over the twist for some reason. And the biggest important thing, I think, on a tripod is the head. Make sure you have a good quality head that's not gonna collapse with the weight of a spotting scope, or just tip over and fall over, or be jerky as you're trying to like glass through it. You know, those are just such a pain in the butt. So quality tripod, nice, compact, lightweight with a good head. What are your favorite broadheads? So my broadhead and arrow setup, I'm gonna go through it because I know there's questions about the arrow setup here. I use the Easton Injection. It's a 330 spine, deep 6 shaft. So that's my shaft. I have the Hush vanes and wraps on it with a strong helical. If you're watching our bow videos, you'll see they're really strong helical, and they seem to be flying great for me, and I think they really do well in the wind. We've been shooting in the wind and they seem to fly pretty dang good. So on the broadheads, here's a couple reasons why you use different broadheads. So there's a mechanical that I like, which is the Sever. I've used that in Texas. I used that in Kansas last year. I did hunt with it in Utah. Unfortunately, didn't get a chance to shoot anything with a Sever in Utah yet. But in Idaho and some other states, I don't know all the states, in Idaho you cannot use a mechanical broadhead. So because of that, I use a Slick Trick 4-blade fixed broadhead. So again, there's a lot of different rules in different states. So you want to make sure before you go hunt out of state, make sure you know their broadhead rules and regulations. Have you ever hiked with a weighted pack to prepare for hunts? Now I can't say I've actually just taken a weighted backpack to maybe like the cardio equipment at the gym. I've never purposely just added weight to go on a hike. But when you shed hunt, you're always carrying a backpack with a lot of weight, especially if you find some. And summer scouting, when you're carrying gear, trail cameras, batteries, mineral licks, salt, etc., you're also carrying a lot of weight with a backpack. So I have never specifically just put like a weight in a backpack to go hike and exercise. I know some people have. My exercise comes with a purpose. I like to do it whether I'm going to glass, scout, set tree stands, set mineral licks. So that's kind of how I do my preseason cardio. And one thing I just want to mention real quick is when I do cardio at the gym, which I'm doing 40 minutes a day, a steady state cardio, either on the incline stair, a bike at home, or the Stairmaster at the gym, that 40 minutes will be on top of what I call my lifestyle. So if I'm going scouting today and I'm gonna do 2 hours of hiking, that I don't count that as my cardio. Cardio is at the gym, lifestyle is whatever else, setting cameras, going hunting, etc. First mule deer you ever shot in Utah. So the first one was my first buck, Southern Utah general season. So just to kind of switch up the answer a little bit, we'll go to my first archery deer in Utah, which was 2007. Extended archery hunt, mid-November, hunting rutting mule deer just up here above Salt Lake. Had a lot of great opportunities. I did miss a couple bucks, and in fact the buck I ended up taking, which is in my office, really cool old buck with great eye guards and kind of probably like a regressing frame. He really seemed like an old buck. I had actually missed him a few days before that as well. So I was hunting the area. Him and some other bucks were working a lot of those does in there. And when I saw him, it was actually the third encounter I had with him. Made a great sneak down there, and lucky for me, that big buck was chasing a smaller buck away from his does right at me. So here comes the little buck right to me, and the big buck stops, turned broadside, tracked him the next morning. He didn't make it very far. So that was my first archery buck in Utah. And then again, I talked about my first ever buck in Utah, which was a rifle buck. All right, so we took a handful from Instagram. I'm gonna go to the comments right here on YouTube and see what people are asking over there, see if they're any different. Eric, what state over-the-counter archery elk hunt would you recommend for a first-time elk hunter from out east? Good question, and my answer is obviously going to be based on what I know and what I have experienced myself. The top 3 states that I really feel like are the best opportunity state for over-the-counter archery elk tags on public land would be Idaho, Colorado, and Montana, I believe, has some as well. Now, I haven't hunted Montana, so don't take my word for it, but I think they have some great over-the-counter archery elk opportunity hunts. What I mean by the best, or why I think they're the best, is that there's a lot of public land to hunt, and there's a lot of units that are literally you can buy over the counter. Some have quota, some don't, so you're gonna wanna research that. But in Colorado and Idaho, again, I'm not familiar with Montana, they have great season dates for archery elk. Usually through the month of September, you can get rut action, you can get the pre-rut, and you can basically get a high quality elk hunt over the counter in those states, especially if you work hard, if you get off the beaten path and get into some country that's not getting as much pressure. That's what you're going to want to do. So to start, you're going to want to use things like Onyx, Hunt Map, goHunt, become an insider and have access to all kinds of statistics, units, and everything. Great for over-the-counter hunting the West. You definitely want to look into that. All right, guys, we probably have enough time for a couple more questions, and then we'll cut this thing off. But let's see what we got. How many elk tags have you filled since you started hunting? Not a ton, but enough to where I have to think about it a little bit. So first one was an archery elk, Southern Utah open bull. I shot an open bull with Chad Mendez, so that's 2 open bulls. I shot an open bull general season rifle here in Utah, so that's 3. I killed when I drew my Utah limited entry elk tag, that's the fire bull, that's 4. Big bull in Idaho last year with my bow, that's 5. I killed another bull in Idaho 2 years before that, so that's 6. I'm pretty sure for elk it's 6. Anyways, yeah, I think I've only killed 6. It's not a lot, and growing up in Utah, I really thought it was almost impossible to ever just draw the tag, and I wasn't hunting that often in open bull units. After learning and doing some research and finding some elk in any bull areas, I decided to start trying it. Last year was great. Utah started a multi-season tag, so you can hunt archery, rifle, and muzzleloader on one tag. So it was great because I didn't have an opportunity to hunt elk in Utah with my bow. It was kind of like a backup. If they came in, I'd shoot them, but never saw one. And then I got it on the rifle hunt. So great opportunity hunt, just tough units and not a lot of elk. All right, guys, let's go with one more question coming from EC Outdoors on YouTube. It says, "Hi, Eric, I have a question. Do you like deer hunting or elk hunting more?" If I had to choose one, I would say elk hunting with a bow in the rut is by far my favorite hunt, for sure. I really enjoy the time of year that I get to hunt high country deer with my bow, so that's always fun. It's like more camping, you know, backpacking, warm weather, great weather, bachelor bucks. It's a total different experience. But there's nothing like hunting elk in the rut when they're so vocal, they're so loud, you're running, gunning, you're on the ground with them. So yeah, I'd have to say hunting elk is my favorite, but I feel like I get more opportunity to hunt deer. So you got a small window of elk hunts. They seem to always be right around September, some in October, and then deer, yeah, I can start hunting in August, and I could be hunting coos deer in January down in Arizona. So deer seems to be like a wider range of opportunities and hunting season dates. So hunting elk is my favorite. All right, guys, that is the first round of questions and answers. Again, I wanted it to be on hunting topics. If you guys have any recommendation on what we can do the next question and answers on, it could be lifestyle stuff, fitness stuff, specifically elk, specifically mule deer, whatever you want to do the next Q&A on, put it in the comments box. Again, if you haven't subscribed already, hit the red subscribe button. That'll help me out. And then, yeah, from here on out, I think I'm just gonna jump back into the vlog, kind of catch you guys up on what's new in life, what's coming up, what to look forward to on this channel and the Hush channel. So again, thank you guys for watching the video. Love you guys. Have a great day. Put some more questions in the comment box. I just kind of screenshot them and store them for the next one. So have a good one, guys. We'll see you in the next video.